All right, who that nation? Welcome to the WDN Chatline podcast. This is the host CB, and I'm here with my co-host MOD. MOD, what they do, fam?
What's good? What's good? Let's talk about it. Let's be about it. Let's do it. Yeah.
Fam, man, it's been a while, man. As you just heard my intro, man, it's been a while since we've been on here chopping it up, but we officially back, man. We got Fred going on. I hope you guys, who that nation, have been enjoying, your life and whatever you got going on. Because it's looking like you guys, along with us, gonna have to, have our trips ready to go down to the NOLA and watch our boys play this year. So MO,
hmm
man, I mean, how you been, fam? Everything
I've
been
been
good?
good, man. How you been, fam?
I've been good, fam. Everything going good. Um, just said that my New Orleans Saints, um, have some money to play with, but not only have money to play with, we using it wisely and on quality players that's going to make an instant impact, not just signing people that sound good on paper. This ain't paper deals that we doing. So I'm excited.
I'm excited too, man. I think they did some really good. We did some pretty good work. Over the last couple of days, and I see what they're trying to do. I see the vision. We're gonna talk about it as we move along. You know.
Right. Pretty much tonight's show, Who That Nation. It's really not a structured show. I mean, as you all know, we're just gonna be playing some catch up and we're gonna be talking about the free agency and then we can go into the draft and see now that we have went for an example, running back. I was huge on Jeremiah Love. I want us to get Love. I just knew that was gonna be, our guy. He's gonna fall to us. But how things have went so far, it's looking like he's gonna be gone before he get to us. So now things have changed. We can pick each other's brains along with you all, and just give our thoughts and opinions on Saints news. Where area we may go in the draft. The phone lines will be open, by the way. So yeah, man, I'm gonna start with the MOD, because it's been a while, man. Where we gonna go? I guess we can start back from. Let's just start with Cam and Demario before we even get into our picks, man. 'Cause we gotta start with let's start with that. So how you feeling on that? How everything going down?
Well, look, bro. Um, I knew that those was gonna be some tough choices. I knew that those was gonna have to be some, tough decisions and stuff was gonna have to be made, considering, what they mean. First, what they mean to the meant to the organization, and the fact that they both had good seasons last season as well. The Mario season started kind of slow, but then it picked up and it got better. Towards the end, so good to he ended up being one of the best in the league at his position at the end of the season. We didn't see no 10 sacks coming from no Cam Jordan
No.
last season either, And those guys played out of their mind. I thought the defense, played damn good going down the stretch. I think we ended up in the top 10 as far as defense is concerned, in the
Yep.
league, and that's pretty good, considering where we came from. But shouts out, man. Look, I can't say nothing bad about Demario Davis. Um, he's arguably one of the best Saints that we ever had when it comes down to it. He provided a tremendous amount of leadership. He was the ultimate professional on the field and off the field. He was a virtual, Walter Payton Man of the Year candidate every year. He was tremendous inside the community. It's tough seeing him go, man, but I also value the fact that our front office is thinking now. They sound like it seem like they making, better decisions. You can't just keep holding on, to these older players. I much rather get rid of a player too early than get rid of a player too late. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? And you know how that went. We've been doing this long enough, you and I. You know how that went. How I felt that they kind of held on to Drew Brees too long and all that
Yep.
stuff. You know what I'm saying? And like, and if I can feel like that about Drew Brees, I can't feel, some kind of way, that we lost to Mario. The only thing that I see that's gonna hurt us, because it's gonna hurt us in some kind of way. Let's be clear, okay? But I think it's gonna hurt us even more, as far as the leadership is concerned. Maybe we can find somebody, that can kind of, replicate or maybe even exceed what he did on the field. But this man meant a whole lot, to the Saints organization, and we just can't quantify it by what he did on the field. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be something, that's pretty interesting. Also, shots out. I give props to, no harm, no foul, no hate or nothing to my man Alante Tell. You know, um, I'm pretty sure your brother, you know, I'm pretty sure he likes that or is feeling that. But Alante, we were not going to pay you $20 million a year.
That's
That,
I've been trying to tell them. I mean, I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna let him have his time though.
you know,
You know,
that wasn't going to happen, bro.
no,
They
no
paid
way.
you like you was a slot. Like you was I mean, like you played out wide. You played predominantly your whole career as a Saint out the slot. Um, did you do good and do well at that? Oh yes, you did. You did.
Yeah.
You understand? You did what we needed you to do, and sometimes you even exceeded what we needed you to do sometimes. But 20 million a year, yeah, I'm glad that was pretty good, Mickey. I'm glad y'all didn't pay that. I'm glad that that y'all acting like y'all got some sense in y'all head right
Yeah.
now. Now
At
I don't know what's
some
going to
point.
go on with Cam. Cam's still a free agent. He's still can sign with any team he wants to. But um, we like to have him back, but he got to come back at the number that the Saints want him to have. You know, if not, bro, it's we'll see you at the Hall of Fame and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But we won't be seeing you in a New Orleans Saints jersey and stuff, bro. Okay, so like, that's where we at with it.
Right.
Now, as far as free agency is concerned, um, I think we did a damn good job. I mean, a damn good job. The only thing that really gave me some trepidation, CB, and I wanted to see what you was thinking about that too, is um, I like Etienne, but like at the $13 million a year,
Mhm.
that's the only thing that really rubbed me the wrong way with that. You know, now if he comes in and proves that he's worth every penny of that, that's no problem, whatever, right? But I thought that was a bit steep, but I can't really get mad at them doing that when we kind of got David Edwards at a bargain rate.
Right.
Only $15 million of his salary is guaranteed. I don't know if you know that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I guess some way, I guess you got to bend on some in some places and not bend on others. And let me tell you what's another tremendously good move that they made that Saints fans are not really paying attention to. Or you understand? Signing that punter. That was huge. I'm gonna say it again. Signing that punter was huge. You
Yes.
understand? Because like we haven't had a quality punter since Thomas Morstead. We've been playing the punter game. It's Gilligan. It was this guy Kroger. I forgot who the guy was. Last season. It's been a revolving door. This dude, to my understanding, he's a top 3 punter in the league, and having a punter is actually having a weapon. And we were smart enough to trade our old punter, and we got some draft capital off from trading him.
Right.
God damn, boy, y'all doing pretty good, bro. Y'all doing pretty good. And I do like Noah Fant. Okay, I know he's older now. I liked him when he came out of college in Iowa. You know, I see the vision what they trying to do. They run the 12 personnel, the 2 tight ends. You got 2 tight ends that can catch that ball now. You got Jawan, you got Noah Fant. There's more and more weapons on the field. I see what they did. They went and they went on offense primarily, with the exception of this guy Ellis. You know, they went on offense primarily to show that they believe in Tyler Shook.
Right.
Trying to put the necessary pieces around him. But I'm gonna ask you this, CB, where does that land AK-41, man?
Ooh. Well, before I answer that, man, we didn't even shout out the guys in the comment
Okay, give
section.
shout outs.
Shout out
Okay,
to everybody in the comment section. Your highlights will be popped up. I see I see the OG in the building. I see my brother in the building. False 24. I mean False 704 said y'all trading Kamara. Um, I'm gonna be honest. I really don't know what we're gonna do. Who knows if AK might he might have a humbling situation, a humbling check. I'm not gonna say it like that, because that come off wrong. I just say if he wants to remain in New Orleans, if he take a backup role, I mean, of course he gonna have to take a reduced role if he's with the team. I will be 100% on board with him doing that. Now, like I said, I don't know what's the stance. I mean, I really can't answer that because I don't know. Ain't nothing, no news coming out of nothing. So I don't know what their plans are with AK. But I
I,
will say if he take a reduced role and remains with the team, I would love that. I would love that if he if he takes a
yeah.
backup role and remains with the team. But I will say this about the anti dude. I can't pronounce. I'll just say Travis.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Now, this is just my view. Did we pay him what he's worth? I'm gonna be honest. I don't know that answer either because just my um viewpoint of him. I really wasn't hearing this name like that. Yes, we know who he was in college and stuff like that, but I'm talking about him being among one of the top running backs in the league. I didn't hear nothing about him until this past season. But seasons prior to last season, his name wasn't in that conversation like, top 10. I didn't hear that. Now maybe you heard it or somebody else, but I didn't never hear his name in that conversation until this past season.
Well, you see, they always talked about him, and his abilities and all that, right? If you didn't know, he came into the league. They had 2 first-round picks that year. They got Travis. What's their quarterback name? They draft
Lawrence.
yeah Lawrence. They got Lawrence, and they drafted ETN too. The same in that same draft. It was both first round draft picks. He came out of Clemson, you know. He played in, he's from Louisiana here, from Jennings, Louisiana. And I thought I thought when he came out of college, I thought he was gonna be a beast, you know. I really did think that he was gonna be a beast. But I think the situation that he landed in, in Jacksonville, because Jacksonville ain't really been, still is, ain't really, all that. No
Right.
disrespect to Jacksonville fans, but y'all know that y'all franchise was struggling. Y'all couldn't find the right pieces and all that stuff, man. So I think he got caught up in that kind of shuffle. And then I remember a couple of seasons ago, they kept having talk about him being traded, or grumblings about him being traded, because he didn't meet certain expectations and stuff like that. And I think that whenever he found the first chance that he had to to become a free agent, he went ahead and got out of there. Remember, he was the cat that was around. He played on the same team that they had with Urban Meyer. You know, Urban Meyer took over that team. Remember,
Right.
and
Right.
that team ended up being a damn disaster. That season. Well, I think he was there for 2 seasons, and it was a damn disaster. And then they had Trent Baalke over there, as their GM. It was a mess over there. So, like, they say since he's been in the league, he's had 3,000-yard seasons. You know, which that can bode well for us. You know, if he can have that kind of ability, with the Saints. I know last year they say he averaged something like 4.5 yards a carry.
Yeah.
You know, as a team, the Saints as a team averaged something like 3.5 yards per carry as a team. In fact, and people don't know, we was one of the worst rushing teams in the league last year. We was downright awful, and we've been downright awful for quite some time now. It took what's that dude named Austin Edemy to come in and have a run over 20 yards. We hadn't had a run over 20 yards in about 4 or 5 years
No,
before
that's
he took
that's
that last
crazy.
season.
That's
You understand?
crazy.
Yeah, and you wonder like how insane that sound, considering we have a back on our team like Elvin Kamara. You understand? So like that was an area where we needed to make an impact. And I think the reason why they went for Etienne instead of trying to draft Jeremiah Love, because all the indications look like Jeremiah Love ain't gonna be there. Okay, he went out there, man. He had that NFL combine. He had the donkey in that. I mean, his numbers was off the chain. Okay,
Right.
he improved his draft stock a whole lot. So it's either telling me one or two things. We'll find out. That they know that Jeremiah Love is not going to be there at number 8, or that they were not planning on drafting Jeremiah Love in the first place. Because we can't bring on Travis Etienne at $13 million a year, a running back, keep in mind, you know, and not have him be our starter. Who that nation? Travis Etienne is our new number 1 back. Okay,
Yes.
just know and understand that they did not pay this man like that. And you know what I wanted to say when you were discussing whether we gonna trade AK or not. They found something in his salary. Well, we got a salary. That dude Kai Farley, boy, that man, that's something else. We found a little clause in the contract that if we release him or if we trade him, that's it. ain't no dead money or nothing gonna be on the books. You know. And they said that this year, whatever we have, they say we may have $18 million dead money that may be arising from, Taysom Hill and well, I don't think it's going to be happening now because Mario got a new deal, Alante got a new deal, and maybe even less than that. So whatever we eating is going to be $18 million or less in dead money we eating that this season. And that ain't nothing. 18 million, even if it was 18 million. That's a kick in the bucket. You understand? Considering the fact that the damn Miami Dolphins is about to eat 99 million in dead money, getting rid of Tua.
Right.
So that ain't nothing. You understand what I'm saying? We can go on and do that, whatever, right? Now that boy David Edwards. Who's
Yes.
J? What J? Oh, you talking? Oh yeah, yeah. They say they may, yeah, they was talking about Jeremiah Love was that's one of the places he been penciled at too lately since after the combine. But I like the fact that we got that guard.
Yes.
Like the fact that we got that guard. He's the top 3 guard in the NFL. They say there's only 2 guards that was ahead of him. One was Quentin Nelson, and I forgot who the other dude was. And the 2 guards that are ahead of him in the NFL, those dudes are all pros. But he put up, numbers just as good as him. They say he only allowed like maybe 4 pressures. You know what I'm saying? All season last season. So that's a good player that we got here. That solidifies the left side. Because the left side gonna have David Edwards and Kelvin Banks. Now, if and FYI, Saints fan, Kelvin Banks was left out on the island more than any left tackle in the NFL last season, meaning no help. Okay, that was more than all left tackles in the NFL, not just left tackles that were, rookies. That tells me a lot about that young man. That young man, we looking at a perennial All Pro right here, in in the midst of our eyes right now. Okay, we know that that Taliese Huaga is going to be on the right side, playing right tackle. They saying that Eric McCoy is going to be here, and he's going to be here because he restructured his contract yesterday. Okay, so when they do that kind of stuff, that means that's kicking the can down the road, meaning an extra year or something, that we're gonna have to put up with him or whatever, right? Okay. Let's just hope and pray that this man can stay injury free. When he's not injured, he's one of the top centers in the league. Okay. Now, that right guard, we need to hope, pray, whatever, man. Whatever we need to do, we need to hope that somebody beats this dude out in training camp. They're not tinkering with his contract. You notice they haven't gone to him and they haven't gone to Pete Warner. Okay?
Yep.
You notice that, right? They're doing that for a reason. They want to have a way out to get from underneath him. Either somebody gonna push him to make him play better, or somebody gonna push him and beat him out. It's all up to you. Torres Ellis Simpkins. Shorts, bro. You was a rookie last season. We understand that. You're no longer a rookie. You know the speed of the game. You can beat this dude out, bro.
You
If
really
you,
can.
if you, I don't even think that you have to be way better than him. Just be a little bit better than him, and you can get you a job, bro. These interior linemen, they're making some big money now. Look at the money that the Raiders gave that center.
Do
You,
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 do you
you
think
get the brother.
they might go O line in the first round at 8?
Who? No,
You don't think they gonna?
no, no. They're not doing that. You understand? If the Saints do that, they're gonna piss everybody off. I don't see it happening. Okay, because if that's the case, you know, you could have we did that and not even got David Edwards. You
Right,
understand?
right.
Then you could have had you a offensive lineman that you didn't have to pay for a few years. You understand? So I don't think they're gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? But I think that they're gonna either there's a lot of interesting prospects out there now, bro. Now that we didn't see, now we kind of see what's up right now, CB. It's kind of interesting now, bro. Now we
Right.
need a linebacker. Despite the fact that we got Caden Ellis, we do need a linebacker. Does Sonny Styles come and play now?
I was talking with WD the other day about Arvell Reese. I
Woo
really
wee.
didn't know he was pass rushing like that. So is his heart. I mean, like, is his forte more as a pass rusher, like a blitzing linebacker, or is it more
I
him
think I think he
protecting and
can do
coverage?
whatever you want him to do on the football field. Okay, I believe that about him, and I believe that about Caleb Downs. You
Okay.
understand? Now, we don't have to go and get no damn wide receiver at 8 either. This draft is deep in wide receiver.
Right,
Okay,
right.
real deep in wide receiver too. We can also do what my man is seeing because I see one of my brothers is on here too. You understand? We can go with Delane Mansour or Mansour Delane, which is the best cornerback in this draft. But I think if Caleb Downs is still there at number 8, I think we should draft Caleb Downs. The reason being is I think he can do what Alontae Taylor can do, but better. Man, you know this dude. Did you know that Caleb Downs, man, started as a freshman at Alabama underneath Nick Saban? That tells me a lot about a football player that can do that. Man, Nick Saban don't be starting no damn freshmen and stuff like right off the rip.
Right.
You understand? But we're gonna see how that goes because what I think he may fall now to us because the team that I thought may have been interested in him, they signed Michael Fitzpatrick, and that was the Jets.
Right.
So
Right.
you know, Caleb Downs, I like Sonny Styles, I like Raleigh, I like Arvell Reese. Um, I I I want to say I like Reuben Bain too, but they say he didn't really show up, man, at the combine too much. The other people had better measurables than him. And I even think that Reuben Bain might even be off the board before we get a chance to even draft. So I want to see how that's going. It done got real interesting. I tell you that much, man. It
I
done
just
got
don't
very
want
very
us.
interesting.
I don't want us going receiver at 8. I mean, if we do, we do. But we need. I know we got Stutzman. Now, is Stutzman gonna play out? It remains to be seen. We brought back Caden Ellis. Shout out to Caden Ellis. We groomed him before he went to the Field Clowns, and then he came back. But I want to see us go get a linebacker. Let's just go ahead and get a linebacker. if that mean in 2 years he's starting, it'll be him and Stutzman, or just say if Stutzman is taking a while to get to that level, because we don't know. He hadn't showed that he really him yet. But
Mm-hmm.
we assuming that he gonna show us that. But we just need that upcoming linebacker. Caden Ellis is 30 years old. He's still playing at a high level. But when you hit 30, not saying
Mm-hmm.
that nobody is finished. I still think Caden Ellis got some years, or a couple of years in him. But especially at a skill position, when you hit that 3-0 mark, you just start, just watching the player. Okay, now we know he's at this number. Um, we got to start preparing, and that's what we didn't do with Demario. We didn't do that. I mean, they was waiting on Pete Warner to take that next step. Pete Warner showed flashes. He never took the next step. Now we here. Well, we got to bring a free agent, better linebacker in. I mean, I still think we gonna be straight, because Kellen gonna hold. I mean, Kate gonna hold it down. But I'm talking about during this whole phase of Demario, we could have been grooming our next upcoming linebacker, and he was supposed to overtake Demario, or they be in 1A, 1B. Because Demario's still playing at a high level, but that didn't happen with Pete Warner. So with Pete Warner, we gotta find somebody to replace him. Pete Warner can be a rotational piece, or I don't know what the plans is for him, but he shouldn't be in the starting lineup. If we got one of these young high prospect linebackers at 8, I think we should go ahead and go there.
Only
That's
guy
how I'm
that I can
feeling
see,
right now.
man, is if they don't get him, say for instance, let's look at both scenarios. Say we do draft Sonny Styles. Okay. Do we then make Caden Ellis put him in the role where Pete Warner is at, you know, and then have Sonny Styles play that, or do he take and he go and we do some traditional stuff like actually have 3 or 4 linebackers out there, in this 3-4 rotation. I mean, is that what he really want to do or what? But I don't think that, because I don't think that's really how that want to be done, because really Chase Young is playing a de facto linebacker
Right.
kind of position, in this defense. You know what I'm saying? So it all comes down to the replacement for Demario and Pete Warner. We're gonna say Pete Warner as of right now, since he the one that was notably the starter, even though he didn't play as many snaps as he normally played last season. You know, and that's how that goes. You know, so I want to see how that's gonna all work out, and see how they gonna juggle that. And then there's another dude too named Hill. What his name is? I think Anthony Hill. He's another good linebacker out of Texas. Now that's some dude that I think we can get in the later rounds, of the draft. We don't necessarily have to draft him in the first round. He can probably even fall to maybe the second, the third round, you know, in one of those cases. But that's a very good football player. And by the way, right, that this draft is also deep at edge rusher too. In this draft, this draft is deep at wide receiver and edge rusher, in particular. This particular draft this season, you know. Oh man, whoever the fell clown is, man, whoever
Man,
this
y'all
fell,
just got to it, man. I feel embarrassed to be saying
then,
that
then,
right
then
now.
then now you're gonna be a Dodgers and Falcons fan, boy. Get
Just
your ass
got
up out of here,
to
man. You got Tua and you got Michael Penix, and you got a suck ass coach too. So stop it. But let's get back on schedule with this. Now,
it. Cornerback.
um,
You good with Kool-Aid? as our number one.
I think him and Raleigh. I like how they ended the season. The some of the start and a whole lot of the middle I didn't like, from them. But I think they ended the season well. I think that they can benefit from knowing, being familiar with the defense that they had. And keep in mind that Raleigh was just a rookie last season. Kool-Aid is still a young cornerback, trying to find his way. I thought they ended the season pretty well, as a tandem back there. And then they, with Reed back there too, and Jonas Sankir, I think that mix was okay. Nobody wasn't really, at the end of the season, nobody wasn't throwing the ball around on us. Okay, and not
Right.
as much as we seen them do, in the beginning and at the start of the season. So, I think that they can benefit from, another year in Brandon Staley's system. And I think that we really have no other choice but to give them a shot. And it, that would benefit us if we need them to work out, because we don't have to pay them right away. That would be like, I think that would be Kool-Aid, what, third season next year?
Yeah, this is
Be his
third
third
coming up.
season. This would be Riley's second season.
Yep.
This would be Sankir's second season. Man, we getting younger. We getting, we can benefit off from not having to pay these guys. We in a pretty good position right now. The team is in a really, really good position right now. The best thing that happened to us is that we went into this off season not needing to find a quarterback. That was
Right.
a huge relief. And looking at a lot of these holes, like it or not, was filled. I don't know if y'all know, we won the award this season. They say the New Orleans Saints had the best 2025 draft of all teams in the NFL. We were number one. And of course, you're going to be number one when you drafted a franchise quarterback, a franchise left tackle. You ended up with a starting cornerback, a starting strong safety. You understand? And various members of that draft class that contributed mightily last season, which includes Stutzman,
Right.
which include Devin Neal, and our coach ended up with an A grade. He ended up with an A. And by the way, right, the Falcons' new coach ended up with an F. Just FYI. So that's how that went. So our franchise is kind of looking up right now. We can take tremendous strides this year. Um, I'm looking for them to win more games. I don't want to really put the pressure and say that we have to, make it to the playoffs or whatever. This is another season that I'm really going to be looking for just overall improvement and to see that we going in the right direction. Okay.
Right.
Now, the season after this season, oh, I want to see some balling then. I want to see some playoff stuff. I want to see some trying to run to get another damn Lombardi. Okay. Because then we should be well seasoned. Everybody should know what's up with who, where you're supposed to be on even any given play and stuff like that. But I'm gonna kind of temper my expectations. I've seen a lot of other public, national news stations and publications. They are saying good things about the Saints and what the Saints should be able to accomplish this season. But you're not going to hear that coming from me. Okay. and we'll see how that works out once when the season start, and we'll see then what we got. We see what we got. I don't know, Marley Marl. I don't know, bro. I can't answer that question.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's still
I
early. It's
can't
still
answer that question. It's way too early to answer that. They haven't even gone through training camp or nothing. You know, so
so
I can't
what you
really
think
answer
they
that as far as wins.
what you think they're gonna do with Chris? I mean, do you when do you think that deal is gonna be done? Will a deal get done?
Yeah, they're gonna get a deal done, man. It's gonna be done soon, and they should get it done soon because there's people that's setting the market right now. Look at the contract that this dude Alex Pierce got, you know, over in
Yep.
Indianapolis. And if we wait too long and wait too long, we're gonna mess around and have to pay too much. You understand? So they need to get a deal done with him right away. I believe that he earned a bag last
Yes.
season.
Yep.
You understand? And I know we dogged him. There's a couple of games and stuff where he looked like he alligator armed some balls and all that.
Yep. He
You
deserved
understand
it.
what I'm saying? But he deserved it. When
Yeah.
you looked at it, he was really Tyler Shook's only, you know, um, you know, receiver that was doing anything, for him at one point in time until the Villiers and all that, started, kicking in and all that, and Juwan Johnson's and all that. But he was consistent last season, um, and he made some plays and stuff, and he showed that that he can stay healthy. Now, this thing that happened to him at the final game of the season, what was a blood clot or something, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Let's not hope that's not anything that can be reoccurring or anything serious because that's something that can that can threaten his life, let alone his football career. You know,
Right.
I don't think Olave. Yeah, probably about 25, 30 a million a year. Probably that's along the lines of what that dude what's his name got, Garrett Wilson, and I think that's about what that dude Alex Pierce is making. I think.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I
let me
just
see.
seen Romeo Dabs. What did he get with the Raiders? I think he got a 4 year. He got a 4 year 70 million.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think his was 4 year 70. So that was. I think Olave he gonna get more than that.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he gonna get more than that. But yeah, everything you said was on point. I just don't want no too early expectations, for the team because this is Tyler Shutt's second year. We can't put him. Yes, he had an exceptional rookie season. Going into this off season, I'm viewing him. He's earned himself, the star role going into this season. Hopefully, and I'm praying he can build on what he did his rookie year. So things just gotta play out. Because we've seen situations where somebody can have an exceptional rookie year and then it go totally south the sophomore year and it ends that way. But now a case with Shutt started off on the bench. So it ain't like he just had this fantastic rookie year from the jump. No, he was able to sit back, take notes, fix his mistakes. Once he got in, he didn't have a lot of rookie mistakes. And if he had a mistake, he was able to come back next possession or two and throw a touchdown or make something shake. So, the things like that is consider little rookie mistakes. Um, he took advantage of having that clipboard. But we will see these pieces. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I don't see these pieces just being pieces like that look good on paper. I
Hmm.
don't see that. I believe these is going to be instant impacts. Like you said, the Russian game was horrendous. Devin Neal, he's going to have opportunity to potentially get in the rotation if they decide to keep Kamar. Um, maybe year 3 or maybe this year, you might. Who knows how AK gonna show up to training camp? It's just that time where you don't know. I'm not saying he's all the way off the map. If they get rid of him, will you be that guy, Devin Neal? The number 2 running back role is serious in today's time. That the number 2 running back, you basically sharing the workload for most of the part, but he's gonna have his opportunity to still shine just because we got a running back. I'm glad we didn't throw him in the fire too early. And then at receiver, we still got Polk and Palmer. We gotta see how these guys
Mm-hmm.
fan out. We can't forget about those guys. So
Mm-hmm.
and then we're gonna draft somebody. We may bring in a free agent receiver like a vet. It ain't gotta be no top dog, but we're gonna get our number 2 receiver to complement Chris Olave. We're gonna have that either via the draft, most likely, yeah, via the draft, or it may be one of these guys. Vele might be like, man, this mine. I'm here. Let me eat. I want to eat, and he take it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
we don't
thought
know how they
Jalen
go.
Polk was good too, coming out of Washington. He played with Michael Penix.
Right, right,
So,
right.
so I thought he was a good wide receiver. It just didn't work out for him over in New England, and we got him for little to nothing.
Is
So
Kendra Miller a free agent? What?
no, Kendrick Miller still going to still be on our team.
So this might be. I get this. Got to be his final year on the rookie deal.
Yeah, and yeah, especially it's going to be his final year, especially if he can't stay healthy. And another thing, man, that's been his whole thing. Just can't stay healthy.
Right.
So we're gonna see how that works out. So we want to take a couple of calls before we get out of here.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put this link in the comment. Who that nation? You guys call it, man. Come chop it up with us. It's free agent. Things have tipped off. I do want to ask you this, Uptown.
Yeah,
Um, do you think this is more of a Mickey doing or more of a Kellen Moore doing? Do you think Mickey has finally got his act together, or do you think Kellen Moore is kind of running the show in the names that we're bringing in and the tough decisions they made on Cam and the Mario? Who
I
you
think
think
I think
is
I think
forefront and all of that?
I think that it is. I think Kellen is driving some of this. I wouldn't say that he's driving the whole thing, quote unquote. And what let's just hope. Let's just hope that it is all of Mickey's own doing. Let's just hope that maybe he's learning to do stuff smart now rather than doing some of the idiotic stuff that he's been doing. Let's just put it on that side. You know,
Right,
we sooner or later we gonna find out. What's really going on. Depending on the situation, we'll find out. But I think it may be a collection of both. To be honest with you, some of Mickey, some of Kellen as well. you know. But whatever it is, it seems like they're doing stuff a lot more smarter than what they used to.
right. Okay, well, we got our first call on the line. No stranger to the show. We got our guy JT in the building. JT, what it do, fam?
Man,
JT
man,
in
what
the
what what it been
house.
like, bro? What's going
JT
on
in the
uptown,
house.
CB?
What's up,
Man,
bro?
man, man, damn, bro. Y'all know I gotta get on y'all, bro. What's going on with y'all? Y'all been
Yeah,
disappearing for a while, bro.
yeah, we talked
Y'all
about
gotta
it,
come
bro.
on back in here.
Yeah, we talked about
Yeah,
it, bro.
bro.
Believe me and CB talked about it, bro. We're gonna do better. We know when you know better, you do
Yeah,
better. You heard me?
that's it. But there's anytime it happen, bro. I'm on here with y'all. I told you that, bro. I got y'all, bro. I got all
So,
y'all, man.
so what you say,
Yeah.
bro? What you got going on, bro?
I
Let me
you
hear.
look
Kick it to me. Kick it
uptown.
to me, brother.
I usually have me a little list sitting right here. You know, when you're my age, you gotta have a list. You know, You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, CB? When you get up there, yeah, you gotta have a list. But I'm gonna go off the top of my head with some of this because you was hitting at it a lot, you know, uptown, and I ain't lying, boy. Look, we think a lot. We think the same, you know. On that Ruiz deal. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm gonna tell you, all last year you could have poured syrup on him. He was like a pancake on the ground. He was always on his back. I was like, Lord, they
On
do.
his back, or he was always running behind somebody. Where
Oh,
you
he
could
running
see the whole
behind
back
somebody.
end. Yeah.
I was like, my goodness. And he's not a big guard, you know. He's not a solid guard, you know, and that's a part. I don't think I'm gonna say this. I don't think the coach is crazy about really. Let's look at this for real. And I'm gonna say this about for all the Saints fans. We might be full of nostalgia right now. Oh, keep this one, keep that one, keep. We in a new era now. We done flipped the page. Everybody who was ain't no more, you know. So we got to look at that like that. I mean, I love the way Taysom Hill played the game, and when he was be able to play the game, but then now the page got to turn. I'm giving eulogies out. I'm giving eulogies out. Demario Davis. I'm going on with that. You know, the page had to turn. I know it's hurting, but when we was gonna make it turn, suppose he was hurt 2 games in the season, or played real bad the first 5 games of the season. I'm just saying, you know, let's look at this for real. You're talking about 37, 38. It was a good play, don't get me wrong, all the young stuff he had going on, but we have to turn the page. Cam Jordan, I love everything he brought to the table. I love all of it. You got to turn the page sometime. You know, Uptown, you got CB, you got to turn the page. You know, what else? What we gonna get? Cam got 10 sacks last year. All right, I think a little more than 10 or whatever. But go back and just look at all the sacks and see which ones that Cam got. You know what I'm saying? Go see the ones that he did. He did. Not the ones that was ran to him or brought to him. See which ones the ones he did. You understand? But and who else? You got Kamara. I love everything about Kamara, but we got to turn the page. We got to turn the page. Else we gonna be still sitting up here with 30-something-year-old captains in these positions. We won't know what we have until we what, Uptown? Until we use.
Until we see we have, and until we use them and see
that's
what
right.
they do.
See what they're doing to see what, because if they don't work out, we gotta see what else we gotta get. I mean, look at the quarterback position. We was doing that with the quarterback position for how many years? Come on. Yeah. How many years we did? Since Drew Brees left, really. Since he left. We've been flipping quarterbacks. We can't
afford to do that, bro, because you see, just FYI, Saints fans, you know, we had a dude that played for us by the name of Zach Bourne. And a couple of years ago, Zach Bourne was the co-runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year.
Right.
And that's all because we had him and we wasn't playing him correctly. You understand? The same thing happened with Caden Ellis. You understand?
Yeah.
We had Caden Ellis and we wasn't playing him correctly. You understand? So
wasn't.
You know, it's a good thing he's back. We don't know. We just find out how much juice he got left. You know, in his tank and all that stuff.
Right.
But it is what it is. But you know, when you got players and stuff, you gotta play them, and you have to play them, you know, to their strengths too. JT.
Yeah, and you're right. You're right.
You know, and
you're
just
right.
play them and try and force, you know, a square peg into a round hole.
Oh yeah, and I'm with you, CB. I mean, I'm looking at the defensive ends in the draft too, or the defensive tackles in the draft, because look, Uptown, I think one of our defensive ends then plateaued. I don't know how you look at it, but I know at CB, you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, Granderson.
Everybody know you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah,
Granderson.
yeah. You know,
I think
Granderson.
it's two things too that's going on with him. You know,
Hmm.
it's a possibility that he plateaued, and it's a possibility that he's playing in the wrong defense.
Yeah.
You understand?
Hmm.
Because in this
Right.
particular defense, you notice he got exploited a lot, bro, when he had to play some
When they,
type of coverage.
when he played the coverage and when they ran at him,
Mm-hmm. That's why
he's
you
not.
need
He's not.
certain players.
Yeah. 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 When he ran at him, he ran at him. They ran at him, and yeah, he can't play. He got to go straight to the quarterback. But see, you can't be like that in this NFL. You got to be able to be. You got to be smart. You got to read offenses. You got to know the books. That's how a smart defensive player is. And if you want me to tell you, you was talking about Caleb Downs. Why he played when he was a freshman, because he was very smart. He had to be very smart to be able to pick up on that. That's why you have to play this game. You can't just be tough and a football player or whatever. You got to be able to be smart and cerebral. You got to have all that type of stuff inside of you too to be able to play this game, because coaches and teams are they also trying to outwit you. When they say they can't, when they say they can't play, like they see a defense with Ray Lewis there, they like, that person makes them change the way they play. That's the kind of defensive person you want on your team. You understand? A game changer. That's what they call. They call game changers. You see? And
Yeah.
that's in the number 8 spot. I'm gonna give y'all right now. I personally think, just me personally, I might be wrong when that day comes, but me personally, I would move down to about 12 or 14 and pick up me some more draft picks. That's what I would do. Second or third draft pick, second round or third round draft pick. That's what I would do. I don't know,
Man,
because
I don't know. I don't know the last time the Saints moved down, bro. We moved up
right,
a whole lot.
right.
I don't know the last time we moved down, JT.
Well, true. I don't know. I can tell you the last time. It's been years since probably some of the listeners was on Infamil and Similac. You understand? But I tell you, want somebody, and I told a buddy of mine this to you come.
Is it just me?
Move up and get him if you want him.
Right.
You move up and get him if that's the person. If you can hear me now, CB?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I can hear you, fam.
But we're in a good position though. The way that we in right now. You understand? You know, if you can pick up, man, a top 10 player, like we picked up a top 10 player last year. Remember, we got Kelvin Banks. What we was at number 9. What we was at 9 last year, CB.
Yeah, I think it was at 9.
Yes, yeah.
We got Kelvin Banks.
Yeah.
We're in a position right now to pick up a really good football player. I don't know too many teams that's going to be interested in moving up, because when it comes down to 8, you understand who they going to be moving up for?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Well,
you know,
like if you look in the draft, like I discussed with a buddy of mine, I said, you look in the draft right now, and you said from 8 to 1, the players from 1 to 8, who's a game changer? Because that's what we need. And the only person to me that's like,
they got a few, JT. They got a few. Caleb Downs is one. I think his teammate, that dude Sonny Styles.
Yeah. He came on the scene. His name wasn't mentioned till after the the workout they did, their little thing. Yeah, he just come on the scene. He was he's the linebacker from Ohio State. But my thing with it is, if I always said, if you wanted somebody, you gotta go get him. Let me show you where we made a gigantic mistake, the Saints. Years ago, when we was right there waiting, and we discussed this before, CB, sitting right there waiting. We about to get, and I'm hoping that's who they was gonna pull the trigger on Patrick Mahomes for to take Drew Brees' spot. At Kansas City, jumped right over him and took him. And that following year, after they played one more year with that duck hunting, Drew was throwing ducks at that time. When that last year, that's when Sean Payton left. That's when he left because he knew he didn't have no quarterback.
Yeah, but I done seen that work against people too. Because, remember the 49ers leaped over us.
Yeah.
And they got what that was, Reuben. What is his name? Reuben. What was that linebacker name?
Foster.
Reuben Foster.
Reuben Foster. That's who they took. We was gonna take him too.
Yeah, and we was gonna take him. And Reuben Foster ended up being a headache for them. He ain't even in the league.
He sure was. Right. You know? He ain't even in the league no more.
That can that can work for you and against you. You know? So
sure could. Yeah, you're right. Well, I tell you, I like I told y'all last year. Okay, my team was competitive. I saw a competitive team end of the year, the last 8 games. Now this year, we got to fix our team out. But whichever way they do it, they gotta be able to. And I'm gonna say it this way: we could win the South. We could win the South. We play competitive ball like we did. And with a couple of pieces that we got coming along, if they put forth the effort to play like we know they can play, the Saints can put together at least a 9-win season, I say a 10-win season. I think they could do that. You understand? I think they could do that because we found who we have the lead to run this team, and that's Tyler Shuck. He's the way he was dropping them balls in there. I was looking at how he was throwing them balls, and them balls was, it was just flipping, just dropping in there to Olave, to all of them. And you gotta know if you have a quarterback, and I'm talking to Atlanta Falcons fan because he want to play the games. If you got a quarterback, you're gonna have a team because that's your leader. Your leader can't be a running back. Your leader can't be a left tackle, a center. Your leader has to be your quarterback because he touched the ball again, like I've been saying, more than anybody on the team between him and the center. So Atlanta, y'all go ahead on and play with y'all left-handed quarterbacks and run into the right side. But anyway, that's confusing.
We appreciate you,
JT. I'm doing it early, bro. I'm doing it early on it behind. I don't want them coming in there ranking our hustle. Let us get our thing going right. Yeah. So y'all, look, fellas, y'all stay cool, bro. I had to come on and hear that, y'all. But y'all stay up on the Saints news and everything, CB and Uptown, and I'll be right here with y'all.
Yeah, for sure, man.
For sure.
Yeah.
Appreciate you,
right.
man.
Man. Next time I have my test for y'all, man. I got to run around here, find a piece of paper, and I'm from the old school, man. But anyway, look, I'll get back to y'all. Y'all take it easy.
All right, for sure.
All right, fam.
All right,
hey,
later.
Man, I want to give a shout out to my boy, man. My man, a childhood friend of mine in the chat, man. Charles Thomas. That's my people right there, bro. That's my people. Oh, that's my people too, bro. Bayou Cuisine. Bayou Cuisine is my people, bro. That's my people. You understand what I'm saying? My personal people, you dig? So, we got anybody left to talk, man? If not, we can break it down.
The OG Jerry said he'll call in next time, man. Shout out to Jerry, man.
Well, we'll holler at you next time, Jerry. You heard me?
You got any final thoughts to this point? I mean, free agency just started, so we just getting started. You know,
all I think I'm gonna say, man, is y'all like the video, subscribe, and all that good stuff, right? And yeah, man, free agency. I'm looking for us maybe to sign. There's always the first, second, and third wave of free agency. You understand? So I'm looking for us, to be active in all levels of free agency in preparation for the draft. That's all I really got to say about that, though, bro.
Right. So just want to thank everybody for pulling up tonight. I know this was just show out the blue, but
Yeah, what's
we
up,
just had
Brad? I
to.
wanted to, bro. I did give a shout out to Brad. What's up, Brad?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I just want to say this to shout out to Alante, man. He definitely got a hell of an agent to get
yeah,
him
yeah,
20 million
yes,
here.
he do. Yes, he
Shout
do.
out to his agent. His
Shout out to his
agent,
agent because he wasn't gonna get
yeah,
that out of
yeah.
us.
His agent definitely got him the best. So I can't even complain. I'm gonna just keep it 100 with you. You know what I'm saying? If y'all plan on putting them on the island, I mean, I don't know how that's gonna work out. Um, but he gonna give you some he gonna catch some wreck in the slot. But I
Uh-huh.
mean, y'all put them on the island.
Nah,
Well,
bro, they got him, bro. They say that with that kind of money they paying him, boy, they better not be trying to pay him in a slot.
yeah, they gotta throw him on the island now. So hopefully he can, play up to it, man. I don't wish nothing. He done good by us, man.
Mhm.
Solid cat, stand up guy. Same with Cal, man. I didn't really say too much on them, but you pretty much explained it. You know how I was gonna say it. I mean, basically, at some point, Mickey gotta. At some point, Mickey gotta. Make those tough decisions, and I'm glad he did now. Instead of trying to run everybody into the wall. And if Cam wanna come back, um, I'm pretty sure Mickey got a price set. We'll see how that plays out. But if not, keep it. I mean, that's what you got to do as a GM. You can't, be buddy with everybody.
Yep.
It's a time for everything, man. So shout out to Mickey for finally, putting your foot down, making, you know, putting a recommendation on how much you gonna give out and what you not gonna give out. So
Mm-hmm.
we've been waiting on you to do that. But shout out to you, man. Shout out to Kellen, um, getting your people in, and let's just see how this thing plays out. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow the page. We will be back shortly. We'll probably be back by the end of the week. But
Mm-hmm.
if not, it will be early.
We'll definitely be on next week, bro. If
Yes,
not, by the end of the week, we'll be on next week. At least to recap, we have some more information on
right,
free agency.
right. So this the WDN Chatline podcast, and we out. Who that?
Who that, baby? For life. All right, that's a good